Here's the reality nobody's explaining clearly. Right now, millions of Americans receiving supplemental security income are getting what looks like an extra check before the holidays. And if you're wondering whether you qualify, the answer depends on one specific detail about your benefits. SSI recipients received their December payment early on November 29th, and they'll get another payment on December 31st for January. That's 2 checks landing in December. But here's what matters. This isn't a bonus or special holiday gift from Social Security. It's a scheduling adjustment because January 1st is a federal holiday, and the government shifts payments to the previous business day when the first falls on a weekend or holiday. The average Social Security benefit in December 2024 is $1,907, but come January, there's another change happening. The 2025 cost of living adjustment is set at 2.5%, expected to take the monthly payment for the average beneficiary to $1,970. That's about $63 more per month. So who actually gets these December payments? Only people receiving SSI, which covers disabled adults and low-income seniors who meet strict financial requirements. Regular Social Security retirement recipients follow their normal schedule based on birth dates, with payments arriving December 3rd, 11th, 18th, or 24th, depending on when you were born. Understanding these payment schedules can make a real difference in how you budget through the holidays and into the new year. Now let's break down exactly what's happening with your Social Security payments this December, because there's a lot of confusion out there, and you deserve to know the complete picture. When people hear about extra payments or holiday bonuses, it's natural to get excited, but the truth is actually more complicated and more important than just a one-time windfall. What we're really talking about here is how the Social Security Administration handles payment scheduling when holidays and weekends interfere with their normal distribution dates, and understanding this system can help you plan your finances much more effectively. So first things first, let's talk about who's actually getting 2 payments in December. If you're receiving supplemental security income, which is different from regular Social Security retirement benefits, you're the group that's seeing this double payment month. SSI is a needs-based program that helps disabled adults, blind individuals, and seniors who have very limited income and resources. The financial requirements are strict. We're talking about people who have less than $2,000 in countable resources if you're single, or $3,000 if you're married. Your monthly income also has to fall below certain thresholds, and the program is specifically designed to help people who are struggling financially to meet their basic needs for food, clothing, and shelter. The reason SSI recipients are getting 2 payments in December has everything to do with the calendar and nothing to do with generosity or special holiday recognition from the government. Here's how it works. SSI payments are always scheduled for the first day of each month. That's the rule, plain and simple. But when the first of the month falls on a weekend or a federal holiday, the Social Security Administration moves that payment to the last business day before the weekend or holiday. This isn't optional for them. It's actually required by federal regulations that govern how benefit payments must be distributed. So because January 1st, 2025 is New Year's Day, which is a federal holiday, the SSI payment that would normally go out on January 1st is instead being paid on December 31st, which is the last business day of December. Now combine that with the fact that December 1st this year fell on a Sunday, so the December SSI payment actually went out early too, on November 29th. That means if you're an SSI recipient, you got your December money at the end of November, and you're going to get your January money at the end of December. 2 payments in 1 month, but it's not extra money. It's just your regular monthly benefits arriving on an adjusted schedule. Come January, you won't receive another payment until February 1st rolls around, assuming that's a regular business day. This is something that happens several times throughout the year whenever the calendar creates these scheduling conflicts, and it's been the standard procedure for decades. But here's where things get really interesting and where a lot of people get confused. If you're receiving regular Social Security retirement benefits, your payment schedule works completely differently, and you're not going to see this double payment situation in December. Regular Social Security retirement and disability benefits are paid on a staggered schedule based on your birth date, and this system has been in place since 1997. The Social Security Administration implemented this staggered schedule to spread out the massive volume of payments they process each month, making the whole system more efficient and reducing the strain on their payment processing systems. Here's how the regular Social Security payment schedule breaks down. If you started receiving benefits before May 1997, or if you're receiving both Social Security and SSI, you get your payment on the 3rd of every month. So if that applies to you, your December payment arrived on December 3rd. For everyone else receiving regular Social Security retirement or disability benefits, your payment date depends on the day of the month you were born. If you were born between the 1st and the 10th of any month, your payment comes on the 2nd Wednesday of each month. If you were born between the 11th and the 20th, your payment comes on the 3rd Wednesday. And if you were born between the 21st and the 31st, your payment comes on the fourth Wednesday of the month. This means that for December 2024, the regular Social Security payments are going out on December 3rd for the pre-1997 group, December 11th for people born between the 1st and 10th, December 18th for people born between the 11th and 20th, and December 24th for people born between the 21st and 31st. These are your normal payment dates, and unless one of these dates fell on a weekend or holiday, which they didn't this month, you're getting your payment exactly when you always do. There's no double payment, no holiday bonus, no extra check coming your way just because it's December. Now let's talk about what is actually changing that will affect your payments, because there's some genuinely important news that every Social Security recipient needs to know about. Starting in January 2025, all Social Security and SSI benefits are getting a cost of living adjustment, which everyone calls COLA. This annual adjustment is designed to help your benefits keep pace with inflation, ensuring that your purchasing power doesn't erode over time as the cost of goods and services increases. The COLA for 2025 has been set at 2.5%, which means your monthly benefit amount is going to increase by that percentage. Let me put that in real dollar terms so you can understand what this means for your actual monthly income. If you're currently receiving the average Social Security retirement benefit, which right now sits at about $1,907 per month, that 2.5% increase is going to boost your payment to approximately $1,970. That's an extra $63 per month landing in your account. Now, I know $63 might not sound like life-changing money, but over the course of a year, that's more than $750 in additional income. For people living on fixed incomes, that can make a real difference in your ability to cover rising costs for groceries, utilities, medications, and other essential expenses. For SSI recipients, the maximum federal benefit amount is increasing too. Right now, the maximum federal SSI payment for an individual is $943 per month. With the 2.5% COLA, that's going up to $967 in January. For couples where both individuals qualify for SSI, the maximum payment is currently $1,415, and that's increasing to $1,450. Again, these increases might seem modest, but they're automatic, and they're designed to help offset the rising cost of living that affects everyone, especially seniors on fixed incomes. The COLA calculation isn't just picked out of thin air by politicians or bureaucrats. It's based on a specific economic measure called the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, which economists abbreviate as CPIW. The Social Security Administration looks at the CPIW numbers from the third quarter of the current year and compares them to the third quarter of the previous year. The percentage increase in that index becomes the COLA for the following year. This means the COLA is tied directly to actual inflation data, although there's ongoing debate about whether the CPIW accurately reflects the spending patterns and cost increases that seniors actually experience, since it's based on wage earners rather than retirees. One thing that's really important to understand is how the COLA interacts with Medicare Part B premiums, because for most Social Security recipients, those Medicare premiums are automatically deducted from your monthly benefit payment. The standard Medicare Part B premium for 2025 is set at $185 per month, which is an increase of about $9.80 from the current year. Now here's the thing, because your Medicare premium is deducted before you receive your Social Security payment, the actual increase you see in your net payment might be smaller than that $63 COLA increase we talked about. You're getting the full COLA on your gross benefit, but once the higher Medicare premium is deducted, your net increase might only be around $53. There's also something called the hold harmless provision that protects most Social Security recipients from seeing their net payment decrease because of Medicare premium increases. This provision says that if you're currently enrolled in Medicare Part B and having that premium deducted from your Social Security check, your Medicare premium increase can't be larger than your COLA increase. This means you're guaranteed to see at least some increase in your net payment, even if Medicare premiums go up substantially. However, this protection doesn't apply to everyone. New Medicare enrollees, people who pay their Medicare premiums separately rather than having them deducted, and higher income beneficiaries who pay income-related monthly adjustment amounts don't get this hold harmless protection. Let's also address some of the rumors and misinformation that tend to circulate every December about special payments and bonuses. Every year, there are websites and social media posts claiming that Social Security is issuing special holiday bonuses or stimulus payments to seniors. And every year, these claims turn out to be false or misleading. The reality is that Social Security operates on a very structured, predictable payment schedule, and the only changes to benefit amounts come through the annual COLA adjustment or through changes in your individual circumstances, like if you reach full retirement age and are no longer subject to the earnings test, or if there are changes to your family situation that affect your benefits. There have been occasional one-time stimulus payments in recent years, particularly during the COVID pandemic, but those were separate from Social Security and came from special legislation passed by Congress. They weren't regular Social Security benefits, and they weren't administered as part of the normal Social Security payment schedule. If Congress were to pass another round of stimulus payments, you would hear about it through official government channels, not through random websites or social media posts. The Social Security Administration is very transparent about payment schedules and benefit changes, and all official information is available on their website at ssa.gov. Speaking of planning ahead, let's talk about what you should be doing right now to prepare for your 2025 benefits and make sure everything is in order with your Social Security account. First and foremost, if you haven't already done so, you should create a My Social Security account on the official Social Security Administration website. This free online account gives you secure access to your personal Social Security information and allows you to check your benefit amount, get your tax documents, update your direct deposit information, and even request a replacement Social Security card in many cases. Having this account set up means you can verify your COLA increase as soon as it takes effect in January and make sure the right amount is being deposited into your account. You should also review your benefit verification letter, which is sometimes called a budget letter or a proof of income letter. This document shows your current benefit amount, and you can download it from your My Social Security account at any time. Once the COLA takes effect in January, you'll want to get an updated verification letter showing your new benefit amount because you might need this document for various purposes like qualifying for assistance programs, applying for loans, or providing proof of income to landlords or other organizations. Having that documentation readily available can save you a lot of hassle down the road. Another important thing to consider as we head into the new year is whether you need to report any changes in your circumstances to Social Security. If you're receiving SSI, reporting requirements are particularly strict because SSI is a needs-based program. You're required to report changes in your income, living arrangements, resources, and various other circumstances within 10 days of the end of the month in which the change occurs. Failing to report these changes can result in overpayments that you'll have to pay back, or even accusations of fraud in serious cases. Even if you're receiving regular Social Security retirement benefits rather than SSI, there are still certain changes you need to report, like changes to your marital status, changes in your dependent children's circumstances, or if you're under full retirement age and your work earnings exceed certain limits. If you're still working while receiving Social Security benefits and you haven't yet reached your full retirement age, you need to be aware of the earnings test limits for 2025. For people who won't reach full retirement age during 2025, the earnings limit is going up to $23,640 for the year. If you earn more than that from work, Social Security will withhold $1 in benefits for every $2 you earn above the limit. For people who will reach full retirement age during 2025, there's a higher limit of $62,160 that applies only to earnings in the months before you reach full retirement age, and the withholding rate is more favorable at $1 withheld for every $3 earned above the limit. Once you reach your full retirement age, the earnings test disappears entirely, and you can earn as much as you want without any reduction in your Social Security benefits. The bottom line here is that while the idea of a holiday bonus sounds nice, what's actually happening with Social Security payments in December is much more mundane but equally important to understand. SSI recipients are getting 2 payments because of calendar scheduling, not because of any special generosity. Regular Social Security recipients are following their normal payment schedule with no extra payments. But everyone is getting a 2.5% COLA increase starting in January, which will provide some relief against rising costs, even though Medicare premium increases will eat into part of that increase for most people. Understanding these details helps you plan your budget accurately, avoid falling for misinformation, and make informed decisions about your finances as we move into the new year.